Hey, this is Jared, the host of Ability Connection Colorado's Rise and Shine. And let me just apologize in advance because when I get around inspiring people, I'm insufferable. I get so giddy. And I think for the most part, my interrogation of comedian Josh Blue today will be tolerable. Hopefully, for him as well. But for you as an audience, I'm going to take you down the road that is now captured in this book, Something to Stare At. It's, I think, a remarkable journey. But before we get there, I want to talk about Ability Connection Colorado and how it has brought Josh Blue here today because he has been such an incredible advocate when we changed our name to Ability Connection Colorado, when we wanted to add some entertainment to Wine in the Pines. He went up and performed. When we recently wanted him to share his life with a young man in Matthew Higgins with cerebral palsy, he's been there. So, and there's more to that, but we'll get there. But we're going to talk about this book, and it is an awesome adventure. I'm probably going to have to bleep some things, okay? But very exciting. And well, Josh, I've read the book, and I've got a phrase. It's weird. I this is here's the phrase that I have from this book, about you and for you. I love your love. It might seem a little weird, like a 70s era, soft rock song, but you love things. Like, you love Africa so much, you even kinda give a pretty positive treatment of the cockroaches. Like, you nearly die a few times. You even kinda give a loving description of the experience. Uh And I think this is just my theory, my Josh Blue fan, theory, is that your passion for the moment makes you good at whatever you do. Like, for example, like, knowing comedy as I do and knowing wannabe comedians as I have, you poured yourself into it. You know, you got to know that you knew that being good to the staff counted. You knew that maybe your hero and Chris Fonseca might have some downsides, but and you knew the value of just knowing and being and like funny was like this much of it, and just being a good person was a whole lot more, and just showing passion for it.
Well, thanks for recognizing that. I truly do love life and I love making people laugh, obviously. I feel like also living in the moment is really important, and be it in life or on stage, I think that, um, you've seen comics where they're just kind of regurgitating their material versus like being in the moment and giving the audience what they need in that specific you know what I mean? Something happens in the room, you're all part of that. Like something falls, everybody heard it. Why not address it? You know what I mean? Like why not uh have it be a communal understanding or a communal moment versus like I'm gonna tell you these jokes that I wrote and I'm gonna force feed them to you.
And I see you realize that early on in your career, you're doing that first night, that contest, and you find yourself trying to think of the next thing to say instead of being in the moment, as compared to in Last Comic Standing when you have the perfect set and you're don't not even aware of what you're saying, you're kind of flying.
Yeah, I think that what I've come to find about comedy, and I try to tell this to so many people, like when they have a big important set, like a Tonight Show or something, you know your dumb jokes, right? You've said them 1,000 times. You can over rehearse that stuff, I think, and instead of just like being naturally in, like I said, again in the moment, and like you know what you're supposed to say in the moment. I think, um,
Yeah.
whether it be on script or off script, Uh,
I have this theory that if you're trying to go based on memory, you are robbing your brain's creative as being compared to adhering to your brain's rote memorization.
right. I agree. I think that's well put. I mean, because again, it's like, well, I feel like I have an advantage in the fact that I have the disadvantage of not being able to write. So I've never written anything down. And for me, I feel like that's an advantage because then I say this like, if you don't write it down, you can't mess it up because there's nothing to mess up. You're just living in the moment and talking and
That's brilliant.
yeah, it feels, and to me, like whenever I do a TV show or something, they always want you to have verbatim what you're gonna say, and I'm like, I can give you a ballpark of what I'm gonna say.
Right. Yeah.
I can't replicate it. Like you asked me to do two sets exactly the same, I could never do it. I just
Yeah,
can't.
it seems like the second set would be stealing, yeah, like, from yourself and not authentic.
Right.
I okay, well, this brings me to an important point. How and you address this in the forward, but how does this happen physically? How does a book happen? Because it sounds torturous.
It was quite arduous for sure.
Yeah.
I my whole life I've just dictated to people, had scribes, even in elementary school, all the way through high school, through college. Uh, I just dictate and hopefully they write it down the way I say it. And then I think it took me five different people helping me to write this book. Um, and it was crazy because it took me like 20 years to write it, it took so long and that many different people helping you. It is my voice, but ultimately each person has a little bit of sway in the writing. So once I was finally to the end, I had to go back through with the same scribe and make it all uniform because you could kind of hear the different voices of the people that helped me. It's
So
crazy.
I'm gonna go, start at the back here, go this way. I kinda forgot how much Last Comic Standing was a reality show. I mean, it was like the comic answer to Survivor.
Yeah,
I
or
is it
American Idol or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're living together, and there's this drama, and I've had friends that have worked in reality shows, and they have walked away saying, "I never wanna do that again." What was your take on the production and just the overall
Oh
reality
man.
experience?
Yeah, when you're in the moment, it's uh aggravating and terrifying, and every step that you get a little further, you're like, oh, that's good for the career. I mean, I was such a young person at the time, I think I was 25 or 26 when I won that. Um, and as you know, like stand-ups, I feel like they get better with age. Obviously, there's some exceptions, but I feel like I really had no idea what I was winning, what I was doing, and I had you know. But I think what came across, and that is my pure enthusiasm and love. Like you said, I just have fun. I love to have fun, and I think that just comes across on camera, on and off stage. Like you know,
Was I'd never really been into reality shows. I'm working in radio at the time. You kinda had to follow the trends, and people wanted to talk about who survived whatever show. But we really attached ourselves to you. Partly for me, it was a little bit cynical because I was like, "If this guy wins, I'm gonna get him on the air. Like, he's local. This is great for us." But we really got attached, and I think it was early when we all felt at Cozy 101 and Alice 105.9, the radio stations where I worked, we felt that you couldn't lose. We're like, "This guy's got it." Like, I don't know what he knows, but we didn't think that you could lose.
well, I felt pretty confident that I was on a path to win, but I also felt very confident that it is a reality show and they can direct it any way they want. They can spin it, they can edit me bad, they can edit me good.
Yeah.
Um uh, you know, I saw them do people dirty on that show, where they added in the cricket sounds, you know what I mean? Like they could do what they want. So you like to think it's all reality, but there is a big hand moving the puppets.
Well, I interviewed Joe Rogan many years ago. I think it was the Fear Factor era, and he was very dismissive of the whole idea that there were these bitter old comics judging new young talent. And I think that was some of what he was trying to say is that this could be manipulated, and you have people that don't want to give up their position to someone who might be younger and funnier.
Right. Well, that is, and obviously, comedy as a competition is a weird thing just in itself.
Yeah, because
Obviously,
it's subjective, I guess.
subjective. Right. Yeah. Right. And uh, that's interesting that you said that about Joe because for whatever reason, Joe doesn't like me. I don't know why, but
That might be a good thing.
yeah, I'm okay with it now.
Yeah.
But I think he saw me as a reality TV guy where I was just a guy taking a chance. You know what I mean? I got offered an opportunity. Why wouldn't I jump on it? Yeah.
No, he's out there spreading measles right now or whatever. I think you pops out on top.
Yeah.
Okay, we rewind a little bit more, and here's the thing too about this book. Josh, I'm gonna get giddy. I'm giddy. It's unless you talk about it, I'm not thinking of someone with cerebral palsy. You live your life as if any. I mean, I'm just imagining a young man moving through life. You're hitting on girls relentlessly and globally. You know, you're traveling on an international soccer team. You're drowning, I think, in South America. I mean, I'm just not seeing a guy that is all hindered by anything.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like that was early on that held me back. I felt like I was kind of hung up on the palsy and hung up like didn't really have a bigger world view. You know what I mean? When your view is so small, that's all you can know. But going to Africa and like seeing how other people live their lives and how other people survive in their circumstances, it just made me like my worldview got so much bigger, and I was like, this is the least of my worries, you know. So, and then I just kind of realized like I can be sad about it, or I can just go have fun, and my personality is fun. I just like fun. So, why would I dwell on that instead of just embracing it?
Well,
And
and
yeah.
I guess I'll just veer to the. I mean, the title is something to stare at, which has takes on different meanings throughout the book. I mean, first you're a kid getting bullied at the bus, and kids are looking at you and they have questions. You go to Africa, the security guard asks, "What's wrong with your leg?" But then people are staring at you not as someone with cerebral palsy, but as the star, Josh Blue. And there's
Right.
this stair step there of getting to. Or I don't know if it's up or down, but there's this whole book is that journey.
Well, I think I was fortunate after living in Senegal when I was 15. I did realize people were going to stare at me. It's just human nature to look at someone who's different. I do the same thing. If somebody walked in that's 7 foot tall, I'm going to look at them. It's just unfortunately that's how the human nature works. But I also realize that I can either let that be a bad thing or why don't I have fun with it? So I was like, if you're gonna stare at me, I'm gonna give you something to stare at.
I've realized that there was the Academy Award winning Out of Africa in our youth. The follow up to that will be Josh Blue's Into Africa, because here you're just a baby born in Cameroon,
Yeah.
and I believe your mother is made out of magic and grit and beauty. And people hear me now, as you say, Josh, gentle reader, gentle viewer, hear me out. This man, as a baby, was delivered in a picnic basket from Africa to Buffalo, New York. This is
Yeah.
how, if you want your child to be successful, fly them around in a picnic basket.
And now
Insane beginning.
yeah, and I didn't have a passport. It was kind of a magical experience getting the medical attention that I needed. I mean, it was like day 3 and I flew halfway around the world.
Yeah.
Um, don't don't tell ICE that, but just- I'm a little nervous now that it's in writing. I'm like, all my papers are in order if you're listening.
Um, well, okay, but that's the interesting thing is you, years later, maybe, teens or whatever, you feel still connected to Africa.
Yeah.
And this is where you go back, and I mean, this is where the book you cannot expect all the things that you do in Africa. Like, what are you doing mingling with a pack of wild dogs? Like, I'm scared for you. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why?
I don't know. It's just something in me that I just feel also very connected to nature and very connected to the world. And it was one of those just weird, you know, I think teenagers in general make stupid decisions. Uh,
Okay,
I
yeah,
just, I didn't have any, you know, spray paint, so I had to go harass the local pack of wild dogs, you know.
yeah,
They harass, they harassed me first, you know, so I, it was
yeah.
just uh, I mean, that was definitely a wild moment in my life, and I'll tell you, ever since then, dogs treat me different. I don't know how
Yeah.
to say it, but
Well, you've earned their
dogs
respect.
dogs know it.
Yeah.
They know I'm the alpha.
Yeah, see, yeah, that this when you go back to Africa, there's so many moments that, I mean, you're lying in bed and another man that you dead have no idea who it is crawls in bed, and he's just there to sleep, and I think in, America is so addled with fear, I think that you go to Africa and you realize people aren't thinking the way we think. It's not a worst case scenario, it's just, "Bro, I need to sleep, and you're in my
Right.
bed."
Yeah, I was living with a host family, and I had my own room for the first 2 weeks, and then this dude started showing up at night, and I'm like, this is really weird. But again, my American brain was like, is he coming here to do me harm? No, he's just there to sleep. And it was like, I mean, and he was gone in the morning, and I was like, did I like hallucinate that? Did the malaria medicine make me hallucinate this? And then like it happened like 2 nights, 3 nights in a row, and then I finally asked my host mother, like, who's the dude in the bed with me? Like, oh, that's our brother Shaq or whatever. I was like, oh, okay.
Okay. Okay, I'm not gonna give away the entire book. There's lots of moments like that. But I'm gonna rewind to one of the most important questions I think you can be asked about this. Do you prefer Bamba or Boo Boo?
uh, I'm more widely known as Bamba, but I'll answer either.
I'm not gonna tell people how you got the name Boo Boo because it's such a ridiculous part of your life. And I hope you're not offended by that. I say it because I had to reread it because I was like, wait, what is happening right now? And I'm like, oh no, this is actually happening.
It definitely was one of the crowning moments. Well, I was 20 years old when I did that. And
Yeah.
uh, just for your listeners, I was doing an internship in a zoo
Yeah.
in Senegal, and they have different rules and regulations over in Africa with the zoo. So uh,
Different is generous. Yeah.
I I had a lot of experiences that most people will never have, and I'm pretty sure that thing you're referring to, I'm probably the only person that's ever done that in the world.
Yeah. Which inspires me to ask a question I've never uttered out loud in my life and may never get to again. Do you think the gorilla has stopped smoking cigarettes?
No, I think he's still addicted. Unfortunately, he has. I heard he passed away.
Ah,
So
legend.
lung cancer affects everybody.
Gonna pour one out for Paco later. Thank you for the update. Okay, now rewinding further into your life, another important question. Please tell me Hector is alive and well.
He is.
Okay.
He's still one of my dear, dear friends. Just the person in my life that, like, I mean, I know lots of famous comedians, Chappelle, Ron White. Hector's still funnier than any of those people.
Yeah.
Like, he's my guy. Uh, he's a fire inspector now. So,
Wow, that's a wild amount of responsibility for what I've read about that man.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, Hector is, I mean, he's just a classic.
Yeah.
He's a classic human, man. Like I could hang out with that dude anytime, and we'll laugh and laugh, and we have our own like language. We don't even have to like talk. We can just look at each other and know exactly what that person's thinking and have a, you know.
It's amazing. Well, have you driven a car since that experience? Is it
I have driven 4 times,
Okay.
and I've been in 2 accidents.
Okay. It's a pretty high average.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
great.
Uh, and then, your family, you don't the siblings don't make a lot of appearances in the beginning and the end. Uh, I did wonder for a little bit that maybe your parents had you, so the other kids would have something to do. They're like, "Y'all need something to pick on." Uh, is everybody getting along?
Yeah, we're all close. We're pretty close, you know. I'm like my closest sibling is like 5 years older than me, so um, you know, and then my brother's 10 years older than me, so he was in high school when I was in elementary school, so there wasn't much crossover in that time. And then, during high school, my closest sister went to college, so I was just home alone with my aging parents, dealing with menopause and senility.
And then your parents, have you watched Stranger Things?
Yeah.
Okay, there's Ted, the dad Ted
Okay.
Wheeler,
Yeah.
and he's a little bit disconnected. Sometimes I got the vibe that your dad is like a polyglot genius musical version of Ted Wheeler from Stranger Things. Just a masterclass in underparenting.
Yeah, my dad is a very loving man, obviously. I mean, he loved me. There was no doubt about it, but he was just not like a fun dad. Like he he just he's
Yeah.
I remember one time I was like, "Hey dad, you want to go have a catch?" And he's "I think I'll stay inside and conjugate irregular verbs." Oh, okay. Well, you
Well,
have fun with that. I'll be throwing the ball at the wall. Thank you.
I think it's valuable. I mean, there's been studies that millennial parents are more stressed than ever because they're just too involved and spending too much time and money on their kids, and I think your
Right.
dad it's time for your dad now. This is his time to go on tour, a and teach people how to let the world teach their children instead of just helicopter parenting.
Right. No, and again, it wasn't like I ever felt unloved. It just wasn't like it wasn't
Right.
he's not going to take you to the amusement park.
I mean, I think a lot of us Gen X had that, like, I mean, the news had to ask our parents if they knew where we were. That
Oh
was
yeah,
tradition.
it's
Uh,
8 o'clock. Do you know where your kid is?
I don't know, Cameroon,
Yeah, Senegal. And
yeah, that
and then in the book, there's all that part about my Vietnamese neighbors growing up, and like,
yeah.
I mean, there was 16 kids in one house, and those were my friends. I was like number 17 in the middle, and I would come home from school and just join that pack.
Yeah.
And, that's a legit question. Like, do you know where your son is? Because he's probably up in somebody's tree stealing their fruit or something.
Yeah, he's exacting vengeance on a bully neighbor with you pronounce that Win, N-U, that name is pronounced Win?
Nguyen. Nguyen.
Nguyen, okay, yeah, with the Nguyen kids.
Yep.
But and to your mom who gets rave reviews from Ability Connection Colorado for I think, she came and read to some kids at some point,
Yep.
and just in the book too, you just get even when you're not mentioning her, you do feel this wise maternal presence who at any moment can turn something rather, uh, like, owl turds into a lesson.
Yeah. I mean, when I was in Senegal, when I was 15, 16, I was homeschooled and we did some pretty outlandish stuff for for
Yeah.
class. We did things that not normal moms would have you do. We dissected a giant monitor lizard. Like
Yeah.
the neighbors killed it and she's like, "Oh, can we have it?" And the neighbors were like, "Who is this white lady dwell with this big den lizard?"
Yeah, your mom is like a white lady legend in Senegal, I'm sure, like, they
Oh yeah, for sure.
reference her.
But it's interesting too. I mean, I'll say this about my folks. They're hard to impress. Like I I don't know that I'm like looking for praise or whatever, but like, I got third on America's Got Talent a couple of years ago. They didn't even call me to say good. The, I was like to the point where I was like, did they know that I was on TV? And I asked my sister, and she's like, "Oh, she brags to everybody else except to you." Like,
Yeah.
so it's my family's not high on the good job thing.
Well, it has worked to some extent. I mean, unless it becomes some strange obsession, but yeah, I think it must drive you, as a young age. You're like, "I'm
It
gonna
does.
get their attention."
Actually, I feel like this book is the first thing that they actually were like, "Wow, can we get some more copies of that?" Like,
Yeah.
so it was the first thing that I felt like they were genuinely like impressed by. I don't know.
Well, they did go to the Paralympics, right?
Oh yeah, they did. They did come to that. You're right.
Okay, and then they did go to Last Comic Standing, I believe.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, okay. I feel like I know way too much about you, but it's your fault.
yeah, yeah.
It's
I wrote a good book.
it is a very good book. Uh, every page there's just something that wants. I mean, I read it quickly because I couldn't put it down, which that sounds cliche, but it was legitimately true. I'm not a good reader at all, but I absolutely devoured this book. Just every page, there's some new revelation.
Well, I feel like that's what's great about the book is like I'm a terrible reader myself. Like, and that's the feedback I get is like easy read, interesting read, fun, and it's not like a memoir of some comic telling you that they how they became a comic.
Yeah,
I've done a lot of stuff. you
yeah.
know.
Well, this is the ingredients to a Josh Blue. Like this is you have to. I mean, you're not even really baking till here, but this is all the stuff that you put in the pot, and it's this
Right.
incredible upbringing and the trials and tribulations getting there.
And the crazy thing is that book ends in 2006. So I haven't even touched my adventures of actually being a comic and all the
I mean,
crazy stuff I've got to do.
that's the next 20-year project right here. Uh,
Exactly. Exactly. It's daunting, but I want to do it.
well, when you got the book out, and do you feel like there's anything to prove? I know as comics, you talk about that a few times in the books. You get too many comics together and everybody's just jumping on each other with their punchlines. I feel like you don't feel like you need to do that anymore.
No, I like being in the room. It's cool being in the room. Um, I feel like I still have some things that I want to prove to the world. I'd love to have my own sitcom. I'd like to do some movies. I feel like I think the world's ready for a disabled lead character. It sounds like so stupid that I have to even say it like that, but I think for a long time there's so much taboo around it. People are like, "Oh, we can't laugh at that. We can't laugh at that." But I found a way that you can laugh at it, and you're laughing with me, obviously. you know.
Well, you could take this if it works, but I was thinking of that as I was thinking of a show with you as the lead, and it flashes back to these stories. And I don't know exactly how that works. If it comes together in the writing room, let me know. I've taken notes, but there's definitely, I mean, there's definitely a great media opportunity here.
Yeah, I think there definitely is a story. I mean, I I don't know. I think just the Africa stuff alone, I think could be some sort of book or not book, like documentary or something.
Just have Richard Attenborough just describing what
Uh,
you do in
Here he is in his natural habitat.
he's burning the hedges out front. This is completely unnatural.
That started my pyromania.
Yeah, how's that going? You still got a little pyro going?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, not just burning
But
herbs.
just no, I burn. Uh, I have a very large fireplace up in the mountains that I can stuff whole trees into. So
And this is for reals. I grew up in a wood burning house. I hated it as a kid, but now I get firewood for people. So if you ever need firewood, you got my number. And
all right.
I'll go up to Gould, Colorado, where I grew up, and there was a lot of trees that were killed in pine beetle kills. So I go up there and cut down them for mitigation and stuff, so they don't fall on people. And I will deliver firewood to you. So just let me know.
Well, I will call you because I don't know if you want to come drop some trees on my property, but I have the
Yeah.
pine beetle coming through right now. So
Sure.
I got a bunch that need to be dropped,
Yeah, I'll
and you're
cut them up. Yeah.
you're welcome to take the wood too, man.
No, we could split it or however,
Yeah,
I
I've
get those
got
for real. So if
lots.
you can help with that, that's my therapy in this digital world is going into the woods and cutting down trees.
Well, I will definitely hit you up on that.
Sweet, sweet. That is no, that's great. That's great. I'm glad I could offer. I'm glad that this could work out. So, well, here we are. You're on tour. How's it going? How's the Berserker tour?
Yeah, man. I just finished last year, one of my best years yet. And so far this year, January's been gangbusters. I'm heading to St. Louis tomorrow. We added another show that just sold out. So,
Golden, Colorado, right? March 3rd.
oh yeah, I got the book thing. Wait, what is Golden?
Well,
What's
Boulder, you have it's like it seems a little more cerebral because it's Boulder, but February 12th, you have the Turn the Page with Colorado
oh
Honors and Josh. Oh, that's a Colorado Public Radio thing.
yeah, with Ryan Warner,
Yeah.
your sworn enemy. It's oh no. Sorry.
It's so funny. I was at a potluck and the guy who had it said, "Hey, why don't you go up and do some comedy just to, tell a story or whatever." And I look out into the crowd and there's Ryan Warner and it like changed the whole night. I couldn't do I didn't know what to use. I didn't
That's hilarious.
not the local CPR guy. I can't have this dude. But then you did add one March 3rd. I just saw on Facebook. It's not on your website, but it's in Golden. And I don't know if they've told you yet, but it's happening and you're frozen now. Oh no, Josh Blue. Okay, good.
Hey,
Technology.
sorry, yeah, that was the weirdest thing ever. I don't know what that was.
Oh my god. And I had a good follow-up line which would have crushed, but you weren't there, and I'm not gonna do it again.
Yeah, I call BS, man.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, yeah, so you're on tour. You got that I did see that there's a Boulder show, there's a Golden show. And then when you say it's your biggest year, and they talk about Taylor Swift, they talk about ticket sales, or how do you define that? It just is it just success in general. Just
I feel like ticket sales were big. I mean, huge, selling out. A lot of most of the shows, and I just feel like the best comic I've ever been. Like I said, I feel like the further I get into the world, the more I kind of have a grasp of this thing, which is what I love about stand up is I know I'll never learn it all because it's an ever evolving, changing thing, and things happen in the news that you can play off of it. So, but I
yeah,
just feel like I'm at a point where my voice is strong.
yeah. I recognize it. I've seen you on stage, and the interaction with the audience is organic. You're not trying to force a conversation. You're not riding hecklers, but when it's there, and it works fluidly. And people are there for the moment. Like in the moment, I think maybe I opened up about how you seem to grasp the moment more than anyone. It seems like you're giving them that opportunity to do the same thing, and they get it.
I also feel like at this point, my body of work is so big that I've done so many different shows and this and that, that like people, when they come to my show, they're there for me. They're there because they like what I'm putting out, and I love when they come with this high expectation and then they leave going, "That was better than I would have ever imagined." So
That's incredible. And
yeah.
that's funny. I've seen people, and I have done this myself, where I realized that I haven't fully respected the audience. And the one thing that changed that for me was having kids. And I realized that
Mhm.
some people were there. They had to find a babysitter and they had to pay them likely more than they could. And they had to worry about their kids. And they also had to put their phone in a little like sleeping bag that was invented by Dave Chappelle, maybe. I don't know. And all this. And I'm like, you gotta appreciate that. Like,
Yeah, they paid for parking, they paid for the ticket, they had to pay the overpriced drink ticket. They had, and like my ticket price is but a fraction of what the night actually probably cost them,
yeah. Yeah.
you know.
Well, and I think that just you can spread that across any profession. Are you in the room with someone right now? Respect them.
Right. Yeah, it's cool. And like what I really am proud of is the fan base that I have. Like every club I go to, they're like, "We're so happy you're back. Your fans are the best. They're here to eat, they're here to drink, and they're very rarely get kicked out."
That's cool. You're creating kind of like is it like a deadhead experience? I mean, do you have people that are there
It's
as I don't know, what do you call them? Blues Clues? I don't know.
yeah, they're hula hooping in the audience. No, yeah.
They're selling cheese sandwiches out front.
Yeah, yeah. Just a good vibe, man. That's what's fun, and I also think there's such a beautiful thing of coming to a comedy club and you're in a room full of strangers, but you're all laughing at the same thing. And I think in our society that is so divided right now, I know that there are audience members that voted for different things, but they are laughing at the same thing,
Mhm.
showing that it can be done.
Well, it's a golden moment to do what you're doing because people are realizing the value of community and just sharing something other than a Facebook post.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
But I'm happy when they do share my Facebook post too,
that's
though.
true. Please, please share. I would
Mhm.
appreciate that too with our material. So again, not dismissing it. We love your digital currency, but please use it. Although now, I guess I should just wrap up. You've helped Ability Connection Colorado a lot. I don't remember a couple years ago, you sat down with Matthew Higgins, who has cerebral palsy, and yet you made his day, if not life, just being able to talk to you and get to meet you. I think you did a video when we changed the name from Cerebral Palsy of Colorado to Ability Connection of Colorado,
Yeah.
and then your kids went to Creative Options too,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
they turned out okay.
Yeah, they're fine.
Okay, good. We just wanted to get that testimonial on video.
Yeah, no, no, they're great. And they never caught palsy either. So
That's amazing.
yeah, it's weird.
Just a lot of hand washing and prayer.
Yeah, exactly.
How are your kids? They've got to be older teens.
Yeah, my son is a senior in high school. He's gonna go to CU next year,
Awesome.
which is insane to say that. And my daughter's 15 and a freshman. They're both at East right now, so pretty cool, cool kids. Obviously teenagers
Yeah.
are not my favorite people, but they're still pretty good people.
Well, if I don't text you about firewood, it could be about my 12-year-old daughter. Like, hey, what's going on?
Oh yeah, no, feel free.
Okay.
I don't know that I have the answers, but um,
No one does.
I do. I do. We can commiserate. How's that?
Yeah, certainly. Well, thanks for taking the time, and we'll look forward to you in Boulder, and then whatever the Golden Mystery Date that I've seen pop up places, and
Yeah, and if people want to see where I'm at, it's just joshblue.com. That's where my tour calendar is, and you can get the book there too.